welcome to Lauren Reed Color. In today's Saturday Snippets, we are going to be continuing our page in Daydreams by Hannah Carlson. It's the jellyfish page, and it's quite possible that we might even finish it today. So I've been thinking which page we should do next, and I have some options. So I thought I would show you a couple of pages and put up a poll, and you guys can choose which page you are interested in doing next. The first one is in Mijn Reis durch Afrika by Rita Berman, and the page that I want to do in this book is the crocodile page. This is for the the Wild Year of Color 26, hosted by Jamie at Finding Joy in Color. I didn't manage to get to it in March, and I really want to color this page, so perhaps we could color it together. And so this is one of the choices. Okay, another choice is in Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosannes. So if you've been watching the channel, you know I'm in a group on Instagram and I am way behind. So this was actually, I think, the page for February and I didn't get to it. So another option is When Beauty Slays the Beast in Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosannes. So that's the second choice. A third option is in Mythographic Cosmic Spirit. Yes, again, it is a page that I should have colored this month, but I didn't get to it. So many pages, so little time. And it is this Pisces page. I have seen such gorgeous versions of this page. I'm going to have to think of something original to do. And perhaps we can do it together. So this is also an option in Mythographic Cosmic Spirit by Fabiana Atanasio. And one more option is for my own Creative Haven hashtag. This one I am keeping up with. I'm kind of shocked. So it is in Creative Haven, Wish You Were Here by Teresa Goodridge. And the page that I want to do in April is, one second. Yes, is the Springtime in Paris page. So we've got the Eiffel Tower and this cute little picnic, and it is perfect for the spring season, I think. Yeah, so those are the options. And as I said, I will put up a poll and you guys can vote. And the page that wins will be our next page for the Saturday Snippets. Okay, now I'm going to move on to show you what I've been working on this week. The page that I finished this week is in Mythographic Dragonspell by Joseph Katzenbang, and it is this Dragon Garden Warrior page. So I went onto Pinterest and I found an inspiration image and I decided to use that palette. So I went for the purples, pinks, and greens, and I went for rose gold armor. Her hair was supposed to be blonde, but it came out brunette. This always happens to me. I have this image in my head of what the hair should look out, and then the pencils sort of take on a life of their own. So I just have to go with the flow and accept whatever result I get. But I'm really pleased with this page. I love how my background makes everything pop. And yeah, it was a real fun page to color. So that's Mythographic Dragonspell. I also worked on my page for my Creative Haven hashtag. This month it was Steampunk Fashions with artwork by Marty Noble. And I was inspired, yes, to continue doing my long-term WIP, which is the steampunk lady standing in front of this porthole. So I have colored her skirt and her bodice, and I have also done the basing for the curtains, and I colored all of the metal objects around it, all of the latches and stoppers around the porthole. I am going to do the window frame itself in wood grain, and then I'm not so sure. I will see what it looks like after I've put in the shading for the curtains and the wood grain, and then I will know more what I am going to do. I'll have a better idea of the colors for the rest of the page. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it's looking so far, and I'm excited to finally get a long-term WIP done. So I worked on this page. The next page is in Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Liederhol Oberg. And the page that we are doing in the group that I am hosting for March is this rabbit with the teapot or coffee pot or whatever kind of pot it is. So yeah, I've finished the background. I've colored in the teapot, and I've started basing the flowers. I am using a color palette that I got from Joanna Stone for this page. This is the palette that I'm using. So I want my flowers to be different shades of oranges and pinks. Yeah, so I'm still debating between a white rabbit and a gray rabbit, but I'm leaning towards white so that it will look good with the other elements on the page. So that is my page in Fairy Tales and Folklore. The last page that I worked in is in Sagen by Maria Trolle, and this is a buddy color that I'm doing with Crystal from Casually Coloring. I absolutely love Crystal's page. She has done a purple wash, and now she is busy shading it, and I think it is going to look amazing once it's done. I'm kind of jealous and a little bit disappointed in myself that I didn't do something similar. I went with a far more traditional coloring, and this is what it's looking like so far. It's almost done. All I have left is to finish shading the background, the smoke, and this squirrel, and it will be finished. Overall, I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. I really love my pink tree canopy and my purple house. It looks really cute. So I think I might do the watercolor wash on a different page in this book. We'll see. Yeah, so those are the pages that I worked on this week, and now we're going to move on to our Saturday Snippets and our jellyfish page. Right, so we are continuing our page in Daydreams by Hannah Carlson, and this is the page we're working on. As I said, we might even be able to finish it today. We're going to see if we can make that amount of progress. Last time we worked on the jellyfish, and we're going to continue working on these two sections. For that, we're going to use cream, salmon pink, mahogany red, black grape, white, and also a polychromos dark indigo. If you don't have polychromos, you can use the Prismacolor dark indigo as well. It will work just fine. I just find that this one is a bit darker, so I prefer it. Yeah, so we're gonna zoom in and continue with our jellyfish. Okay, so I'm starting with the cream, and just like before, I'm first going to start by shaping out where my colors are, planning where I'm going to have my highlights and my shadows. And so I'm just going to take this color and I am going to put it down, and I am leaving the highlight here in the middle. Okay, so I'm just taking this cream and planning out that color. Okay, right. And now I am taking the salmon pink and doing the same thing. But here, because I want a gradient, I'm overlapping the cream a little bit and then going a little bit up. Okay. And as I said, I think I said last time, we don't want it to be too uniform. Yeah, we don't want it to be in an exact straight line, because if that happens, then it doesn't look realistic. Right. Okay, now pink. Okay, putting this down. Yeah. So I'm just going to show you how I'm doing this, and then I'll start with the chatty portion of the video. If you're new here, these Saturday Snippets are chatty videos. If you're not interested in hearing me ramble on, then you can always mute me. Mahogany red. Okay, black grape. Okay, I want to make sure to leave this highlight here on the side. Okay, and yeah, we'll leave the polychromos dark indigo for later when we're deepening up shadow. So as you can see, I've mapped out my colors, and now I'm just going to take the white, okay, and I'm going to put it down into my highlight so that my highlight is maintained. Okay, so I'm just putting it over here just to make sure that I will be keeping that highlight. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with all of the colors again and darken them up and layer and build up the colors. Okay, so that's what we're doing next. So back in with the cream, and again, we're putting it down here. Okay, so yeah, now I can move on to the chatty portion of the video. I hope that you've all had a good week and are doing well. And yeah, my week was the same as last week. We're still at home, you know, dealing with the sirens and whatever's going on here. But yeah, we've sort of gotten into a routine, so that's okay. And we're teaching on Zoom, so it's okay. We just you know, deal with it. What did I do this week other than that? I finished the book that I was reading. What was I reading again? I was reading, The Bones She Buried. I really like that series. I really recommend it. The author is Lisa Reagan. Let me just get an eraser because I think that's too harsh. Want to do that. Erase some of that, yeah. Okay, I think that's, yeah, so now I'm going back in with my salmon pink, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm not creating too much of a harsh line. I think that's better, yeah. And let's make sure, yeah, and blend that out. That's okay. Even if there's this little blemish there, it will give it character. Yeah, so I was reading The Bones She Buried, and it's a really great series. If you like mystery thrillers, then I recommend it. It's by Lisa Reagan. They're very well written. There's a publisher called Bookature that publishes lots of books in this genre. They're mystery thrillers with female detectives. Yeah, so Bookature is the name of the publisher, and they publish mystery thrillers. So I read quite a few of them. There's the Kim Stone series by Angela Masters. There's the, what's the name of the, I don't know the name of the series, but the name of the author is Robert Brinza. And the first book is called The Girl in the Ice, which is absolutely brilliant. One of the best mystery thrillers I've ever read. And then, of course, I'm reading the Josie Quinn series. The book that I just finished is in that series. And yeah, it's really good. As you can see, I'm just building up the colors, putting them where I want them to go, and getting the look that I'm looking for. Again, it does not have to look exactly the same as the first two. Yeah, so I finished reading that. And I have started reading the next book in the Traces series by Laura Griffin. Okay, so the Traces series, they're also mysteries, but these ones are more police procedurals. So the main characters are police officers and forensics experts. So yeah, this one is about a ballistics expert and a detective, and they're romantic suspense. So so far so good. I'm still in the beginning. Nothing much has happened yet. Let me just blend this out with the cream. Oh yeah, it's starting to shape up. Sometimes you have to do some erasing to get it to look exactly the way you want. Okay, I think we can now put in the indigo blue, just here at the top to deepen up shadows. And I think last time I also used a blender pencil. I'm not sure I'm going to need a blender pencil. I think I will use the blender just so that it will get the same look, because the blender pencil lifts some of the pencil color up. So, but if you're going to use a blender pencil, you must have lots of layers. Otherwise, you're not going to have any color for the blender to work with. But I'm not sure I need it. Okay, oh well, we will use it. Okay, and I'm just going to take my white and do a bit of blending here just so that my highlight is there. And I also want some more of this peach, the salmon pink, it's not a peach. Yeah, so that's what I'm reading. And I'm also listening to God Rest Ye Royal Gentleman. Yes, from the Royal Spiner series. I've gotten into that. I'm listening to that book while I'm doing puzzles. All right, let me just get my blender pencil. Okay, I've got my tiny blender and I'm just going to blend this out so that we get a nice gradient. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, yes, I like that. Okay, I'm just mapping out the color, and I want my highlight to be over there. All right, now I'm going in with the salmon pink. Yeah. Right, so that's the book that I'm reading, and as I said, I listen. Well, that's the book that I'm listening to, and I listen to it while I'm doing puzzles. So the app that I use is called Magic Puzzles, and right now they have a series of puzzles. They're constantly adding new puzzles, which is nice. So the series of puzzles that they've recently added is based on Wuthering Heights, Mahogany Red. And so all the puzzles are scenes from that book. And wow, these ones are a bit hard. And it's because so many of the pieces have the same color or different shades of the same color. So it's really hard to see what goes where. So I'm spending a lot of time. They have like a preview, like as if you were, it's a digital puzzle. And in manual puzzles, regular puzzles, you have the box. So one of the tools that the app has is to show you the completed picture. So you can see what it should look like, as if you had the box, the lid box, right? The cover of the box. And so I'm spending a lot of time looking at that to see where everything, should go. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Let's take the white and just put in our highlight. Keep it there. Okay, and I think I want a bit more yellow here because the sun is hitting it. Here as well. And then a little bit more of the salmon pink. Yeah, so I'm listening to that while I'm doing the puzzle. And yeah, that one's also good. I'm enjoying it. That one's by Rhys Bowen. This is book, I think it's either 15 or 16 in the Royal Spinus series. I think I've talked about it before on the channel as well. And I was spending a lot of time this week while I was coloring, watching People Magazine Investigates. Some of the cases that I was watching, I'd seen before because I was watching Dateline before. And some of them were covered on Dateline as well. So I knew the basic stories, but I feel that People Magazine's versions are really good. They seem to provide a lot more factual information. I think Dateline is a little bit heavier on the interviews with people and things like that, and a little bit less focus on the actual facts of the investigation. So I think I prefer the People Magazine Investigates. I think we need a little bit more mahogany red here. yeah, so as you can see, I'm just building up the colors. Let's take this pink, salmon pink again to blend. And yeah, let's do the dark, oops, my white tried to escape. Let's do the dark indigo here at the very top. And then blend that out with the grape. And now my blender. And I also want to take that white. Okay, let's have a look what we've got. Oh yeah, I really like that. I'm just going to get a brush to brush away any crumbs. Okay, yes, I really like that. Now what are we going to do with these leaves at the top? I'm thinking we're going to make them really dark. And so I think I'm going to take the black grape and just fill them in. Like that. And I think we will take dark indigo and we will just blend that out like that. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we've got this like white stripe down the sides, which I like. It stands out. Oh, yes, I like that. It makes it look a lot rounder at the top, these white. By keeping these white lines, it looks rounder. Okay, wait, I just have to turn my page 1 second. Okay, that looks nice. It will glow even more once we've got the background in. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do the bottoms of the jellyfish, and we're also going to have a highlight here in the middle. So with cream, I'm just, again, mapping out my highlight. And you can use the highlight that you've got as a guide. Okay, now I think I'm going to go straight for the peach. We're going to skip the salmon pink. We're going straight for the pink. Yeah, so I was watching that, and I'm already on season 7. So I'm getting a little bit, worn out. So I'm going to take a break from that. And I've started watching Jack Ryan from the beginning. I watched it a couple of years ago when there were 2 seasons available. I watched it, and then I had caught up, and the new season hadn't been released yet, so I took a break. And now I know that there are another 2 seasons, but I can't remember what happened in the beginning. So I've gone back and I'm watching from the beginning. Okay, so we want this fold here. See how the jellyfish has got like a fold here? So we want it to be evident. So it's deeper here in this part. Oh, these colors work so nicely together. Yeah, so I started watching that again from the beginning. It's so good. It's such a good show. I'm really enjoying watching it again. And then, so I'm watching it again, the first season again. And then I will go back to watching the second season. And then I will get onto the seasons that I have missed. Okay. Wait, I think cream to blend this. And then we will put in a little white, I think, as well. And now I'm thinking I will put in some of that salmon pink as well. Salmon pink. My neighbors are shouting. The kids have gone out to play. They're taking advantage of the little bit of sunshine that we're having right now. It's not going to last. According to the weather forecast, we're in for a storm. Okay, again, dark indigo, just for the deepest shadows. Yeah, so that's what I'm watching. And what else did I see? So I'll give you an update on my Threads experience. Oh, I have an email. So as you know, I keep track of all sorts of animal goings on Threads. It's been an interesting week on animal Threads. So there is the capybara, who's named Samba, who has escaped from the zoo. She's on the run. Okay, oh wow, I like that. We're going to move on now to these tendrils. Hold on one second. They're going to be pinkish on the top and purple on the bottom. So we're going to have like a gradient. And for this, I'm going to start with pink, and I've got a really sharp point because they're kind of thin. So let's just start here. Okay, so I want the ends to be darker. Okay. So I was talking about the capybara that escaped. So Samba, the capybara, has escaped from the zoo. It turned out that she was being transferred from one zoo to another with another capybara, and they both escaped their enclosure, but the other one was caught very quickly. But Samba is on the run. She... I cannot believe that this little capybara has eluded capture for over a week. She is very resourceful. Someone also said that people are phoning in sightings of her, but they're false sightings. People are helping her escape. And there are all sorts of memes to have to do with her. She's some town council. Okay, I just need to pay attention to what I'm doing here to make sure that I'm not this. Yeah, this goes here. And then, hold on. I'm wondering if that is background. Let's erase that. Yeah, so one town council, this one is definitely a tendril, so let's do that. One town council has started making memes of her to like promote tourism. So she's riding a bicycle and going to a spa. I'm really not sure how come they haven't caught her yet. How fast can a capybara run? I mean, you get the sense that they're not that quick on their feet. But then I was reading that someone said capybaras are also semi-aquatic. So she can get in the water, and if she gets in the water, then she's faster. And also they try to use dogs, but as soon as she gets in the water, the dog loses the scent. Yeah, she's very resourceful, this capybara. Okay, I'm trying to see. This is background. This is a tendril. This is weird here. Does this belong to this? I think I'm just going to make it belong, and that as well. I think we're just going to darken it up so it looks like one line, because right now it looks weird. All right. I'm just seeing. I don't want to stop too uniformly, so we're going to make a couple more pink down there. Yes. Okay. All right, now we're going to take, I think we're going to take the lavender. All right, and we're gonna go from the bottom up with these tendrils. Yeah, so I thought that was really cute, the escaped capybara. What else did I see? I also saw that 2 chihuahuas saved a shih tzu from a coyote. So it was a video, someone's, they have cameras on their backyard. I think it was in Arizona. And it filmed these 2 tiny little chihuahuas snapping and barking at this coyote that was trying to attack a shih tzu. Go, chihuahuas. So that was cute. You don't think of chihuahuas as rescue dogs, but turns out they are. Put this there as well. Okay. And what else did I see? I saw that an octopus named Ghost has died in the aquarium. I can't remember which aquarium it is, but they were explaining, and this is something I didn't know, that octopuses don't live very long. I didn't know that. They have a very short lifespan, and they die after laying eggs. I didn't know that. I thought that they were more long-lived than that. So that was kind of sad to learn. Obviously, whenever I see these things, I have to go and do some research. So it's the academic in me. So I went and I looked it up. Let's see, we're going to take this mahogany red, but again, I need to sharpen it. Oh, and it's broken. Hold on one second. Okay, so I've got my mahogany red and it's sharp again. Prismacolors are notorious for breaking. Yeah, so anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, octopi. So, yeah, they don't have very long lifespans, between 6 months to 1 year, depending on the species. So I thought that was kind of sad. And then I was reading an article that said the researchers think that they have such short lifespans because they are quite intelligent, they grow rapidly, and they could, if they lived longer, they would end up harming the ecosystem because they reproduce quickly and they lay a lot of eggs. So if they didn't, die so quickly, they would really be quite harmful. So nature can be so cruel. There's another species, I think it's wolverines. Is it wolverines? Wolverines give birth to quite a lot of young, but most of the pups die because a wolverine only has 6 teats. So only the pups that latch on first survive. So I also thought that was kind of cruel. That's sad. But again, it's nature. It's by design. Okay, so this is the tentacle that is weirdly positioned. So I'm just going to make it 1 tentacle, like that. Okay. What else did I see? So today I saw a video of a pigeon. I hope that you're not bored with my animal stories. So a pigeon got onto the underground. It was either a subway or an underground. It traveled 1 stop and then it got off. So it's like the pigeon decided that it was too tired to fly and it was just going to take a ride on the train. That's so cute. And the podium pups are doing well. They went to Carter, the lady who has them, Camp Carter. She takes them all over the place. They went to, all right, let's, I don't want to get my purples and my reds too mixed up. Let's go now with the black grape. Hold on, this one also needs to be sharpened. I've been using them on all the other sections, so now they need sharpening. I have to be careful not to break, yes. Okay, so black grape, just the bottoms. Yeah, so she took them to a cabinet factory to meet people and to be around loud noises. She tries to socialize them to get them prepared for when they're going to be adopted and to be ready for all sorts of situations. So she wanted them to get used to loud noises. So she took them to a cabinet factory. That's so cool. And she also took them to an assisted living facility to meet the residents there who look forward to seeing them all the time. She does this all the time. She takes different litters to all of these places. Oh, and they're so cute. They're getting really active now. Okay, let me just turn my page a bit. Okay, I am now going to put this mainly in the shadow areas, I think. Deepen up shadows. Do there and there. I'm just going quiet for a second so that I can pay attention to what I'm doing. There and there. And I don't want to miss anything. Did I miss any? Oh, this one over here. Just a second. And then I think what I'm going to do... Okay, so here we've got overlapping. So basically you want to put shading where the tentacles overlap. So over here. And there. And I think we're going to put some mulberry in here as well, because that's an in-between a pink and a purple color. So I'm just putting my shadows in. Where else there? We can do it. And you can do it like randomly. The colors can be random because, you know, nothing is uniform in nature. We can put it around the star here as well. And around this star. And hold on, around this star. Yeah, just putting in the shadows. What else did I do this week or see this week? I saw that the World Championships figure skating has started. They have a YouTube channel, so I think this weekend I might watch that. I love figure skating. I really enjoyed the Olympic figure skating. So I think I'm going to watch that this weekend. And I also saw that the Netflix announced that season 5 of Bridgerton is going to be Francesca and Michaela's story. I'm not surprised. I felt that they were really building up that relationship in season 4. So I'm not at all surprised. And I also think that they need more time to build up Eloise's book, because her future husband while he's been introduced in the series, we haven't seen that much of him in most of the other seasons. So I think I think he needs to put in an appearance, and I'm thinking that they will build up that relationship in season 5 for us to actually get their story in season 6. So I hope that is going to be the case, because Eloise's book is one of my favorites. So I'm eager to, okay, here we have these two tendrils. Here you can decide which one you want. You can have this one overlapping this one or this one overlapping this one. I think if we go there and we just do this, then we will see that this one is overlapping that one. But it could go either way. Where else do we have? I think that's it. I think that's all the overlapping. Oh, this one needs to go there. Okay. I think I'm also going to get the mulberry. Okay, mulberry. I think this will be a good transition color from the pink into the purple. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that was a good choice. Oh, this is looking really nice. And yeah, so I'm not, as I said, I'm not at all surprised that it's going to be Michaela and Francesca. It's going to be interesting. I hope they do. I hope they do a good job. I know that some people are upset about the changes made to the original book, but I don't mind. I think that it's really. I think the books need to go with the times. I think they need to reflect, what's going on in the world. I think that it makes them more interesting. Also, Francesca. I think I might have said this before on the channel. But when I be discussing Bridgerton, Francesca's book is not one of my favorites. I read that Julia Quinn had originally intended this book to be not connected to the Bridgertons. She had written it as a standalone, and then her publisher asked her to link it to the Bridgerton series. And because of that, it feels like a standalone. Like, I'm sure they're going to change it for the show because the show is so linked to the Bridgerton family. I don't think they're going to go in the direction that the book does. In the book, most of the Bridgerton family are not in the book. I think they make a small appearance, perhaps in the beginning and the end, if I remember correctly, because I think Julia Quinn had to link it to the series. But other than that, most of it does not take place in the vicinity of the other Bridgerton family members, the book that is. But I think because the show is such an ensemble and focuses on, the recurring characters, so I don't think that's going to happen in the show. I think the show will be much more inclusive of other Bridgerton characters than the book is. So that'll be interesting to see how they do that in the show. It'll be also interesting to see, because the conflict can't be the conflict, excuse me. The conflict can't be the conflict that's in the book, because the conflict that's in the book has a lot to do with, heirs and children and things like that. I mean, I suppose they could include it. So we'll see how that gets done too, because it's very different in the book. I want to deepen up the shadows underneath the jellyfish, and for this I'm going to take the indigo and just put this color at the top. Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see. What else did I see that was interesting in the world? Oh yeah, I saw, back to animal videos. It was not really a video. I saw an article that a Labrador named Stanley has solved a 160-year-old mystery. Stanley was digging in the garden and he dug up a bottle of poison. And according to authorities, this bottle of poison was used in the 1800s. 165 years ago, a woman was convicted of poisoning her husband, but they never found the poison. So Stanley has dug up the poison. Stanley solved the case. Stanley's so smart. So I saw that. Oh, I can see this bit needs, let's put lavender there so that it looks a bit different. Yeah, I'm just blending now between all of these shades of purples and pinks. Yeah, we might put some white. Okay, I did all of my indigo, right? Yeah. Okay, I think let's zoom out, see what it looks like. This is what it looks like right now, and I don't think we're going to be able to finish the background today, but we can get started on it. I want the background to look something very similar to the backgrounds on our inspiration images, so a really dark blue. And to do that, I think we need to first darken up the background using Neocolor 2s. So we're going to do that, we're going to activate it, and then next week we will finish the background and maybe get started on whichever page gets picked in the poll. So for this, I'm going to use 4 Neocolor 2s. Sorry about the pause. I had to get up to give His Lordship Sir Toby his food. Anyway, the colors we're going to use for the background are Prussian blue, black, ultramarine, and cobalt blue. Okay, so we're going to start with the ultramarine. 1 second, let me just get a piece of paper. Okay, so we're going to deepen up. So we're going to put this in random spots, I think. The sea is not uniform. All right, so let's just put this randomly. I'm going to use circular motions because that will make it easier to blend. And it will also make it easier to put pencils on top. I'm going over these stars. Okay, let's put some over there. Some over there. Oh, I don't want to get my hand on it. Yeah, just put this in randomly. Let's just put it here on the side as well. I'm just going to turn the page a bit. I'm going to try not to get it on the facing page. Let's do this. I have this bad habit of getting Neocolor 2s on other pages. Oh, see? If I do that, I could possibly avoid that occurrence. Oh, that's Toby slurping. Okay. Yeah, a bit more over here. Okay, yeah. Right, let's also put it over here a little bit. I want there to be sort of a glow around the jellyfish, so not too much. Okay. I think, yeah, that's enough. All right. Our next color is cobalt blue, and for this, I'm just going to put it all over the place. Okay. Let's do this as well again. Oh, I'm trying not to. Don't worry about getting it onto the pencil so much. Because we've used Prismacolors, they're waxy, and it will be easy to remove any paint from the pencil, okay, with water. The wax creates a barrier, so don't worry so much if you get a little bit of the paint onto the pencil. Okay. Okay, so I'm just putting this color down everywhere. Okay, and in between these little bits. We're also going to go over with pencil, so don't be concerned if it's not completely uniform. It will all get smoothed out when we put the pencil. Okay, wait, hold on, let me put this back under here. Okay, here I want it to be a little bit lighter, so use a lot less pressure. Because this is where our light source is coming from. Yes, Toby has something to say. Okay, and also here on the bottom. Okay. All right, so this color is a shadow color. We're just going to put it mainly around the elements that are casting shadows. So, all right, a little bit over here. Okay, I don't want to put too much of this, but it's the color that's also going to go on the bottom. Okay, so we're putting this all across the bottom. 1 second. Make sure I've got my protective board. Yeah, the bottom of the ocean is always darker, so it's in the shadow of the rest of the water. So we're just going to do that. Okay. And we're going to put it here. The colors will all blend and mix together once we activate. Okay, I'm not going to put it here because this is where our highlight is. Oh, hold on. Just very lightly. Okay. Just put it there because this is casting a shadow onto here. Okay, and now lastly we're going to use black, but very sparingly, just in the deepest shadows. Okay, so just here on the bottom. I might even go over this black again with Prussian blue, just to make sure it's not too dark. Okay, and yeah, let's do that. Hold on. I'm rotating all of my paper. Just this section over here. Okay. All right, and I think I'm also going to go again with the Prussian blue over the black. Just to make sure it's more blue than black. Okay. And I think I might also put more of that cobalt blue up here at the top. Right, now we're going to activate it. For that I have a cloth to wipe my brush on, and I have two water brushes. I have one that has a slightly more worn down tip for the larger areas, and then I have one that has a finer tip for the smaller areas. Okay, so I think we're going to start with the smaller areas first, but actually, one second, let's very important to put a piece of paper down so that you don't smudge. Let's take this one and just go into the crease here of the paper. Okay, and you just, with circular motions, you mix your colors together. Okay. And this is just going to deepen up all of our background to make it look like an underwater scene. But because we've put lots of different colors down, yes, it's all going to be, it's not going to be uniform. Okay, yeah, I'm just not talking or chatting because I don't want to, make a mess. Okay. Yeah, so this brush is better for the bigger areas. I really like this brush. Unfortunately, it is well on its way to being past its prime. See, I can even use it in the small spaces, but I will get the other brush in a second for the small spaces. Okay, I think, yeah, let's get the other brush. Okay, and I always keep my cloth here handy. Okay, so we're just going to do the smaller spaces here. You can even take some of the color, and in areas where you've missed, you haven't put any Neo Color 2 down, you can just, transfer from those areas. And it can be random. It doesn't have to be the exact same colors. Because it's water, and water's lots of different colors. Okay. Yeah, I love using Neocolor tubes. It's fun. Yes, Toby likes them too. Are we talking about you? Yeah, so as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to put some books up with some pages, and you can choose which one you want to do next. Because next week, all that will be left for this page is to take pencil and go on top of this Neocolor tube, but we want it to be dry. So I always like to wait in between Neocolor tube sessions until it's really, really dry, because I don't like to put pencil on top of wet paper. If you put pencil on top of wet paper, you could tear the paper. So I like it to be 100% dry. Neocolor tubes dry pretty quickly, but yeah, I still like them to be very dry. All right, we're getting to the part of the page where we can use our other brush. Just in between these small sections. Let's do here too. There, and in these little areas. I like to take from areas that I've already put a lot of the Neocolor 2 down, and then just put it in. But of course, these areas will also get covered over with pencil. So if you don't do it, it's also okay. Okay. Second, let's do this bit. All right. Here, this is where you need this brush in between these thin seagrass areas. And again, you can just brush off the paint if it gets onto your, like here, see? It just gets, because of the wax of the pencil, it just goes away very easily with water. Okay, I think I'm going to get my other brush. Hold on one second. I always like to squeeze a little bit of the water onto the brush just to clean it off from the paint. Okay, so now let's do the bottom here. Again, I'm going back to my thicker one. The Prussian blue and the black together create a nice, deep cobalt color. That's really nice. Sort of like a bluish gray. See, this does most of the work for us. We will put pencil on top, but the Neocolor will do most of the work for us. So it's a really good technique. Okay, second. Okay, let's just wipe that off. Okay, let's move over to here. Squeeze out some more water. I like to hold up the book. Okay, let me just put my hand, protect my hand. It's not so much to protect my hand, it's more to protect the page from smudging. Okay. Okay. Oh, we might use our other paintbrush for that section. Okay, so now we'll go back to this one for the sections in between. I alternate. But if you only have one water brush, one it's fine. They get to a fine tip, and then don't worry about these stars. We're going to put them back in. If we even want to keep them, we'll see. I'm not sure if I want to keep them. We will see. Okay, almost done. I think this is going to give us a really nice base for our pencils, and we'll get a nice deep ocean blue color for our sea. Okay, I think we're just bit this last little bit here. Let me just get some more water out. If you put more water, yes, it will be lighter. I like the thicker brush in the larger areas. It goes more quickly. Okay. There we go. So the idea is that it's lighter here because the sun is from this area, coming from this direction. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, okay, let's have a look. Oh, yes, very nice. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, and we are now going to let it dry for a week, even though half an hour is also okay. So if you are doing this not together with me, but rather watching it back, then you can wait half an hour or an hour for it to dry completely. And once it's completely dry, you can go over with pencil, which we will be doing next week. So thank you everyone for joining me, and I hope to see you again next Saturday for our Saturday Snippets. Bye for now.